Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Movie Nights movie review. Today we are talking about M3GAN 2.0. This is, of course, the sequel to M3GAN, the horror, somewhat comedy sequel to the Blumhouse film from a few years ago. This one is also directed by Gerald Johnston, I believe is his name. Johnstone, excuse me. And this takes place 2 years after M3GAN's original rampage. Her creator, Gemma, resorts to resurrecting her infamous creation in order to take down Amelia, the military-grade weapon who has built by a defense contractor who stole M3GAN's underlying tech. And as always, I'm here with the amazing Nick Iricchio. Nick, how are you, my friend?
Robotic buddy.
Robotic, of course. Love it. Love it. I'm going to dive right into this review. The first M3GAN film, I thought, had some good moments. I thought it should have leaned a little bit more into the campiness of it and kind of been a very more self-aware horror type movie. And when it did do that, I thought it worked really well. I didn't think the horror elements worked all that well, but I was like, this is a whatever movie. It's fine, I guess. This movie is so dumb, and I mean that as a high form of praise. I think this film
The biggest
really,
compliment you could give it.
yes, this film really leans into what type of movie it really should be and has a whole lot of fun with itself. This movie was very fun to watch. Again, though, it is dumb. Like you have to point out, like, it's a dumb movie. Like, when you watch it, you're like, oh, this is dumb. However, I gotta say, I enjoyed myself. I thought the humor worked really well. I thought the use of the side characters was done even better in this film. I think that the relationship between M3GAN and oh my gosh, what's the girl's name? Not Gemma. That's Allison Williams. The kid's name. What's the kid's name?
Katie.
Katie. I thought the relationship between them was really well done. There is an exceptional F-bomb for a PG-13 movie in this movie.
Top 10.
Each PG-13 movie usually gets one perfectly placed.
Oh yeah. Maybe
But,
not top 10, but it was
yeah.
it is the best use of it in this movie. Like,
Oh, yes.
there was not another point where it would have worked.
100%. And I think that going into like actual negatives on the movie, even though the movie is very self-aware and leans into it a lot more, there are still some script issues where you're just like, okay, we're just going to accept that they made it to this country, like, and did this thing. Like, all right, we're just going to go with that. And
a lot of exposition. Like,
tons of exposition.
So much exposition.
And I'll also say I think that the second act of the film is probably the weakest. But with that being said, it was really funny. Like, the humor really worked in the film, and it leaned into it a lot more. And I also want to shout out, I'm sorry if I'm saying their name wrong. I believe it's Ivanna Sakhno from the Ahsoka series, plays the rival robot Amelia in this film. I thought the actress did a wonderful job and was a very compelling antagonist and good foil for M3GAN. I also kind of like seeing M3GAN grows as a character in the movie, which was a bit unexpected, but I thought it was welcome and nice to see.
They make her taller too.
Yes, that's true. Again, very dumb, very silly movie. I had fun with it. I don't think they nailed it, though. Like, I do think that there is a better version of this movie where they fully embrace what they're trying to do while trying to tell a good, compelling story and kind of crush it. And I still don't think they did that. The movie does have... It kind of tries to play both sides with its AI stance, which in the arts and filmmaking, you're going to have a struggle with trying to get that point across. And I don't think it was needed. I think the movie was silly, and it kind of just should have kept it at that. But with that being said, Nick, I'm throwing it over to you. What were your thoughts on M3GAN 2.0?
I liked it more than the first movie. I think M3GAN is a great concept of a character, and I think in this movie it really kind of solidifies that comedy that she's able to have. Like, I think they really felt like they knew what they had with M3GAN in this movie. Kind of going into it, right? I think like what you're saying, where it's like they almost have it. It's kind of like the first M3GAN was like a big slab granite block, and then they started chipping away at it. This one, and you're kind of seeing the outline of like a sculpture. and they just need to get in there and just really fine tune those details because the first one wanted to be a horror movie. There's really not a lot of horror elements in this one. It really leans more into the action comedy side of things.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it feels like that, and it wanted to be over the top. It wanted to be ridiculous. It also wanted you to take it seriously, which does not work. And I think that's where it's kind of held back. If they had just kind of ramped up the goopiness by like maybe a 10, 15 more percent, I think they would have really had something a little more well rounded. I think the returning characters were all great. There were some wonderful new additions with Jermaine Clement. I thought
Mm,
he had a very small role, but I think he had a very good role in it. And Amelia as an antagonist, I thought worked really well, played by what you said, Ivana um, Sakhno. And I think what was interesting about the design is that it was still a human performance. And I thought that was interesting because Megan is obviously kind of more of a CGI character. So I think having the advanced model be still being a human performance, someone actually acting robotic, I thought added a nice, interesting layer to it. But again, movie has way too much exposition, takes itself a little too overly seriously. But I think the humor landed, and I think it's an improvement over the first movie. Personally, a little long. I think there was some fat that could be trimmed there, but the first one felt like they had a little bit of an idea and tried to expand it to the feature. At least this one felt like they had a very kind of they had an idea, just went on a bit too long.
yeah, like I could even say like I think the first one's like a 2 and this one's like a 2.5,
Yeah,
probably.
we're saying it's better. We're not talking like milestones, but I mean, I
Yeah,
think that if they can refine those edges like we're talking about, I mean, I think they can keep cranking out 3.5 sequels easy.
for sure, for sure. If they can refine it and get it all done, and it seems like the team, both in front of and behind the camera, it seems like they're having fun making them. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like anyone doesn't want to be there. So I think as long as that can continue as well, and Blumhouse can keep the budgets down, then they can probably keep
Keep
having a
going for
formula
it.
for success. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. But guys, the important question is, once you've seen Megan 2.0, what did you think about it? We'd love to see your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.